Well, good morning and welcome to our Food for Thought segment, sports betting picks and plays. This is for Monday, January the 20th. My name is Abby. And we're going to be starting off with our college basketball segment, a couple early games for college basketball. We'll be doing that. So, first off, we're going to be looking at 6, 7 games today, at least, for college basketball. Again, we're using Odds Logic. This is the site that we're going to be using here. We use this for the latest updated line movements, over-unders, injury reports, the latest updates for injuries. It's used for all sports. That's oddslogic.com. That's what we're going to be using today. So we are going to start off with the first game. It's William Mary at NC Wilmington. That's North Carolina Wilmington. In North Carolina Wilmington. The line opened at -5, North Carolina Wilmington. Total 153.5. Now the line has gone all the way up to, if you look here, you see it going up to 6. There are mainly 6s on the board, but 6.5s are coming up. We're seeing that. And then the total right now is 152.5. So the total dropped down a full point. It's William Mary at NC in Wilmington. So we'll look further into this game. Again, we do see, and this is a 1 p.m. start actually, that's 10 p.m. Pacific. Head to head, they're 6-4. Wilmington is winning the series against the spread 5-5. The over/under is 7-3 to the over between these two teams. William Mary against other opposition, 8-2 in their last 10 games. 4-5 against the spread, 4-5 to the under. UNC Wilmington, 7-3 last 10, 5-4 against the spread, 5-3-1 to the over. So Wilmington has won in their last 5 games. They're 3-2 in their last 5 games, and the last 5 games. Let's see, 2-3 to the under last 5 games. Overall, 5-3-1 to the over. William and Mary, they've won 6 games in a row. So out of the 6 games, they've covered about 2 of those 6, 2 out of the 6 games, and they won 3 on the road, 3 at home. And on the 6-game winning streak, they've gone 1-5 to the under in the 6-game winning streak. So, from what I'm seeing here, I like the under in this game. I like the under in this game. I know the past results for these teams have been over, but I like the under. Just on William Mary's style of play, the way they're playing, their style of play. And the 6-game winning streak is dictating an under to me. They won in Hampton. They didn't cover, but they won in Hampton. And just winning on the road. Hofstra and Stony Brook, they won those games on the road. They played an under style of basketball. They played a lot. They played under. And the total has gone back. Remember, it was at 153, and now it's back to 152. So it's telling me the under. I like the under in this game here. That's what it's telling me. So I like the under here a lot, especially on the road here. We know Wilmington came off an over. The totals went up a little bit in the 150s, but I still like the under here. I guess, like I said, William Mary's style of play, their style of play that they're playing now, to me, dictates the under in this game. So yes, I do like the under 152.5. That's how I'm going to look at it. Now, in regards to the side, in this game, let's see and look at this further. Let's look at the side in this game. This game here. I would lean. It seems like UNC Wilmington's the team that has a chance to knock off um, William and Mary. It seems like they have the advantage to do so, given and their losing streak, because they have the height advantage. They have the height advantage with two 7-footers in the lineup. And that's going to be a problem when you have a height advantage, especially on the offensive glass. That could be a problem here in this game for William and Mary. So with that being said, I like the because of the height advantage, clearing the offensive rebounds. Um, Remember, and William and Mary, I'm sorry, yeah, William and Mary, you only have one guy that's over 6'8". The two twin towers for UNC Wilmington. You got guys like McGriff, Kamari McGriff, and Harlan Obia. They're both 7 feet guys, and then you have one guy on William St. Mary on William and Mary who's 6'8", and they struggle to defend the interior. So they're 298th in the country. So that's a problem when you're on the road playing in UNC Wilmington. It's a big problem. So I would lean. This is a lean. I lean to UNC Wilmington for that reason, and the points and the -6. I lean there, but my stronger plays to the under. I think I like the under 152.5. So I like that better. That's my take on that. Next game we're going to look at. Let's see here. So the next game we're looking at here is St. Francis at Wagner. So St. Francis at Wagner. This one opened at 2.5, -2.5 Wagner. That's the opening number. Total 124.5. Right now we're seeing it's gone down to, it's still 2.5, but it's going down to 1.5 at some books. 1.5. And we're looking at a total here of still at 124.5, but it's making its way to 125. That's Wagner at St. Francis. So this one here, if you look at the matchup here between these two teams, another 1 o'clock start, 10 p.m. Pacific. Look at the matchup here. Head-to-heads 8-2. Wagner 4-5-1 against the spread. Wagner 3-7 to the under. St. Francis against other opposition 4-6 last 10. 3-5 against the spread. 2-6 to the under. Wagner 6-4 last 10. 3-5 against the spread. 2-5-1 to the under. So in this game here, what I notice here is both teams are trending to the under, and the head-to-head series is to the under. Now I know the market has gone up to 125, from 124.5 to 125. I understand that, but I'm still going to take the under in this game. I like the under in this series. That's my play. I like the under in this game a lot. Again, St. Francis have gone under in 5 straight games. The last 2 unders have been on the road. This is a low total, 124. Very, very low total. I like the under here still. I still like the under, just based off of all that. That's my play. That's my play for that game. Now for this, according to regarding the side, it's 2.5. Regarding the side, Wagner favored. Wagner hasn't really covered any spreads this year. They haven't covered anything at home. Especially this year for the month of January. They haven't really covered anything. St. Francis, they've covered on the road at FDU. They covered there. They didn't cover their last road game. Wagner's dominated them. This game is in Wagner. Wagner's won there. They've won the last 3 meetings. This game's in Wagner. 2.5. I'll lean St. Francis. St. Francis is a lean because Wagner, they've had problems covering at home. They have been playing as a favorite. They have not done well. Terrible as a favorite. St. Francis, they've shown they've covered against FDU. They didn't cover the last game after that, Long Island. They didn't cover in Long Island. But they've shown some encouraging signs. St. Francis, while Wagner has been the opposite. So I would lean to St. Francis, but I like the under more. I like under 125. Let's see here. Okay, so the next game after that, we're going to look at, let's see. Alcorn State versus Prairie View AM. We'll look at that one. So this one here, we'll take a look at this game quickly here. Opened up at 3.5. Total is 143. Prairie View. This game's in Prairie View. The game's at 2 p.m. Pacific time start, 11 a.m. on the West Coast. Right now we're looking at the total 4.5 Prairie View AM, and the total is 143.5. So not really much movement to the total. The spread has opened up to 4.5. We're looking here head-to-head, 6-4 Alcorn State, 6-3 won against the spread. Alcorn State 7-3 to the over. Alcorn State against other opposition, 2-8 last 10 games, 8-2 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. Let's see, and Prairie View, 3-7 last 10, 6-4 against the spread, 4-6 to the under. So Prairie View. And we look at Alcorn State. They've covered 2 straight as an underdog, Alcorn State. Actually, 4 straight as an underdog. They've covered in some big venues. They've been covering. Well, they're 4.5 point underdogs here. Prairie View has dominated them, though. Let me look at this one further. Prairie View is a 4.5 point favorite. Let's see. I'm gonna lean towards Alcorn State. They've covered as an underdog 4 straight games. They've covered in some big venues on the road. I'm gonna take Alcorn State here plus the 4.5. Even though the line's moving to 4.5, I still like Alcorn State. I know Prairie View has dominated the series, but that was in the past. This is in the present. I'll take Alcorn State. I'll lean to that way, 4.5. Now a strong play, but I lean that way. Regarding the total, I'm gonna lean to the under in this game. I'm gonna look at the under. I know this has been an over series, but I'm gonna look at the under in this game. Under the 143.5. I think Prairie View's defense although they're in a losing streak, their defense, I think, is going to dictate the pace of this game and keep this game under the total. So I like that one more, under 143.5. Plus another thing too is the total hasn't really moved that much. It's been staying at 143. So that's another sign to me that the under looks like the play here. No real movement on the total. So that's a sign for me that the under might be the best look. And that's my best play for this game. I like the under here. Next game we're looking at here in college basketball. Let's see. Columbia at Princeton. This game is at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. So Columbia at Princeton opened up at -7 Princeton. Total 153.5. This game is in Princeton. The spread right now is at mainly 7.5s on the board right now. 7.5. We have a few 6.5s, but it's mainly 7.5 right now. 7.5. Total 154. That's the consensus. That's Columbia at Princeton. And head-to-head 10-0. Princeton. Princeton's beaten this team 10 straight times. 10 straight times they've beaten them. 2-8 against the spread. Princeton 6-4 to the over. Columbia against other opposition 6-4 last 10 games. 4-4 against the spread. 4-3-1 to the over. Columbia's lost 3 straight games. One of the games they've lost in Rutgers on the road. And then they lost the next 2 at home against Cornell and Yale. On the 3-game losing streak, they're 2-0-1 to the over, which is interesting. Princeton 9-1 last 10 games, 3-5 against the spread. It's 3-5 to the under. Princeton's won 6 straight games. Out of the 6 games, they are, let's see, 3-2. 3-2 to the under, Princeton. So Princeton doing it on defense, winning the games on defense. So let's see here. This game's -7. It's gone to 6.5, like we mentioned, but it's mainly 7.5 on the board. Let's look at this one here. I'm gonna take Princeton here. I like Princeton on the points. Princeton, to me, they're more the superior team. They're more dominant, as you can see from the line movement. I like Princeton here. I like him a lot here to cover. I wouldn't be surprised if this line got to 8. It's at 7.5. I wouldn't be surprised if it got to 8. I like Princeton here. Princeton on the points. And I like the over. I like the over in this game, 154. I would lean to the over. The over is a lean. I like Princeton on the spread more at the 7.5. I like that more than anything. -7 Princeton. I like that one. Lean to the over. Like Princeton more, -7. Right, like I say, yeah, it's at 7 now. What I would do if you like Princeton like myself, try and get the 6. Try and get the 7s before it moves to 7.5. It's going there right now, so try and get the 7 if you can. Next game, Brown at Cornell. This one here opened up Cornell -8.5, total 155. Right now, we're seeing it's mainly 8s across the board. and if, but a few of the a few 7.5s are starting to come in right now on this game. It's Cornell versus Brown and Cornell. So if you like the 8, try and get it now, because if you like Cornell, try and get it at 8 because it's going down to 7.5. If you like Brownie, wait till it goes down. The total here opened up at 155. We're seeing now 150. I saw 156, but it's mainly 155.5. So if you like the over, try and get the 155 before it goes to 156. So looking at this matchup, Cornell Brown. Last 10 games between these two teams, 5-5, 7-3 against the spread. Brown, 3-7 to the under. Brown against other opposition, 6-4 last 10, 4-5 against the spread, 3-6 to the under. Browns lost 4 of their last 5 games, and they've gone under 3 of the last 5 games. Cornell, 7-3 last 10, 6-3 against the spread, 5-4 to the over. Cornell's won 3 straight games. They won at Penn, at Columbia. This one's in Cornell. I would lean to Brown. I think I like Brown to cover the points. They always play Cornell tough. And right now, the lines that you see, the line I'm looking at has come down now. 8.5, 8, 7.5. But yeah, I like Brown here to cover. I like Brown. Brown to cover the points. I know they've lost 3 games. They've lost 4 of their last 5. And I believe Cornell. This is a look ahead spot. This is a sandwich spot for Cornell because they're going to Princeton. Next game's going to be in Princeton in 5 days. So I feel this is a look-ahead spot for Cornell. Against Brown, this is a look-ahead spot. So I like Brown here. Because of the situational spot. I like Brown. Like I said, they played them well in the past. Number 2, it's a sandwich situational spot for Cornell, so Brown can take advantage. I like Brown on the points. I like him at the. If you get it at plus, you I even saw 8. There's 8.5 on the board, but that'll be gone pretty soon. Yeah, the number's coming down for a reason, and I agree with the move. I take Brown at plus 8 or 7.5. I like Brown either way. I like him. Brown on the points. I like that. I'll be playing that. No strong take on the total, but I like Brown here. Like I said. Brown to cover. Next game is Pennsylvania at Harvard. This game here, minus 6.5 is the opening number at Harvard. Harvard favored. Total 139. Right now we're looking at 137.5. And it's 5.5. We're seeing a lot of 5.5s. We're seeing some 138.5s, but I'm seeing 137s are popping up. Majority is 137. So totals come down, and it's like I said, it's 5.5 right now. So in this game here, last 10 games, 5-5 even, 6-4 against the spread. Pennsylvania, 6-4 to the over. Last 10 Pennsylvania against other opposition, 2-8 against the spread, 5-5 against the spread. 2-8 the last 10, 5-5 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. So Pennsylvania has lost about 4 games in a row. Out of the 4 games that they've lost, they have covered 2 out of the 4 games. Two of the 4 games they covered on the road at Dartmouth and at Pennsylvania, or at Penn State, But they didn't cover against Cornell. Cornell beat them pretty badly. They lost by 10 in that one. As far as the over under, 3-1 to the over in the last 4 games. 3-1 to the over. 3-1 to the over on this losing streak. So they're giving up quite a bit, Pennsylvania. Harvard 5-5 last 10. 6-3 against the spread. 3-6 to the under. Last 5. 3-2. 3-2 Harvard. And 3-6 to the under. So they are 2-3 to the under Harvard. And Harvard's a favorite. I'm gonna have to lean. I'm gonna lean Pennsylvania in this situation. Pennsylvania. They had covered 2 straight games on the road. They didn't cover at Cornell at home, but they've been covering on the road. They have covered on the road, so I like Pennsylvania here plus the 5.5. I'm gonna take Pennsylvania. Just looking at something here for this particular game. So it is 5.5. This particular game here. Let's see. It's a 2:00 start. I like Pennsylvania in the first half. I would lean to the first half plus 3.5. We're getting some value there on the first half. Now, as far as the total, I'm gonna, in this particular situation here, I'm going to look. I'm gonna lean to the under in this game, under 137.5. I'm gonna lean that way. But I like Pennsylvania plus 3.5 in the first half. I like that angle better. I lean to the under, but I like the first half Pennsylvania plus 3.5. That's that. I like that. I like that angle. Like I said, they played very well on the road. So instead of taking the full game for them to cover, they have covered on the road as a dog. I like them in the first half. So I just cut it in half, take the first half. I wouldn't talk you off of playing plus 6.5. I wouldn't talk you off of that, but I would take Pennsylvania in the first half plus 3.5. That's my take on that. Next game's Yale at Dartmouth. So Yale here, minus 15.5. I open up minus 15.5, the opening number, total 150. Right now, we're seeing 151.5. 151.5. 15.5. We are seeing some 152s come up, but the majority right now is 151. So if you like the over, try and get the 151 if you can. A few books have it before it gets to 152. The spread hasn't really moved. Now we're seeing a 16.5. I just saw 16 come up. So we're seeing 16.5, 16. They're popping up in certain areas right now. So we're going to look into this matchup further. Last 10 meetings between these two teams, 9-1 Yale, 2-8 against the spread Yale, 6-4 to the over. Last Dartmouth against other opposition, 5-5, 7-2 against the spread, 5-4 to the over. Yale, 7-3 last 10, 7-3 against the 7-3 against the spread, 7-3 to the over. Yale's won 3 straight games. They covered 2 out of the 3 at home. They didn't cover it on the road at Columbia. Let's see here. I agree with the move. I think Yale will cover this. Yale has proven to be dominant at home. The last two home games they've dominated and covered. Against Brown -9.5, and they covered Howard -14.5. So I trust them here. I like them here to cover. I agree with the move. Dartmouth, they haven't shown much on the road, to me. Oh yeah. I would take Yale. Yale on the points for me. Yale on the 16.5. I'd lay the point. I would lay it because it's moving in that direction anyhow. But -15.5, 16, 16.5. I would take Yale. Yale for me -16. I agree with that move a lot. So if you can get it at -15, get it at -15. If you can, try and get it. Yeah, I would take Yale. I would take Yale here. Definitely. So try and find the best number. Get it at 15.5. I'm more likely I'll be betting this game because I'm seeing some books get it to 16.5. So try and get the 15.5 before it gets to 16 for you. So the next game, I no play on the total. The total I have no play whatsoever. It's just a side. Next game here, Hofstra at Drexel. This one here, 2.5. Drexel's line open up at 2.5. Total 121.5. Right now we're seeing a bunch of threes. It's threes across the board. Threes right across the board for this game. Yeah, mainly threes are coming up now. So we're going to look more into this game further. And the total has gone up to 122.5. That's what we're seeing across the board. So Hofstra, Drexel. This one here. Head to head, Hofstra 8-2 last 10, 8-2 against the spread, 5-5 the over under. Hofstra against other opposition, 5-5 last 10, 4-4-4-1 against the spread, 3-6 to the under. Drexel last 10, 5-5, 6-4 against the spread, 3-7 to the under. Drexel's lost 2 straight games, 2-3 in their last 5. Covered 2 on the road, lost their last 2 at home. This is Drexel. Hofstra, meanwhile, they've had flip-flopped wins and losses. This is their second road game. They had played well on the road. It was a push against Townsend, but they had played well on the road. They're pretty feisty on the road, Hofstra. Let's look at this one further. Let's look at this one further. Let me look at this further. Very interesting matchup here between Drexel and Hofstra. Let's see here. Let's see. Hofstra and Drexel. Let's see here. I'm still looking to see which way to go. This is a big one. Let's see. I'm going to take Hofstra in this game. Hofstra plus the 2.5. I like Hofstra here. So for sure, this is going to be a slow-paced game. Again, Drexel plays with a, both teams play with a slow pace. So again, this is a slow paced game, and I believe Hofstra's defense will be very disruptive in a slow pace type of game. Now I know the line has gone to 3 already. This game starts at 3 p.m. So there's plenty of time for this line to move. I like Hofstra. I'm gonna wait till it gets to 3.5. So if you like Hofstra like myself, I'm gonna take Hofstra and the points. This is again a slow paced game. The total is 122.5 right now. I'm not gonna touch the total. It's a bit too low, way too low. I'm gonna go with Hofstra in this game. Again, slow paced game, grinded out game. Give me Hofstra. They can hang with Drexel on the road. So I do like him here a lot. Again, I like Hofstra here. I do like him here in this spot very much. So I like the plus the 2.5. I like him here. It's 3 now, like I said. But I'll wait till it gets to 3.5. Waiting for that 3.5. If it goes down back to 2.5, I'm still gonna take Hofstra. So either way, I'm gonna wait. But I like Hofstra here a lot in this one. Next game, we're gonna look at. Fresno State at New Mexico. This one here opened up at minus 21.5 New Mexico. Total 162.5. Right now, it's still at it's minus. We've seen some minus 20s. It's come down to minus 20.5. Total has gone up though. Actually, it's gone down. Excuse me. It's 160. We've seen some 161.5. It's moving that. It's moving in that direction. This game here, head to head, Fresno is 7-3. 3-6 against the spread. 3-6-1 against the spread. New Mexico 6-4 to the over. Fresno State last 10, 2-8, 7-3 to the against the spread. 6-4 to the over. New Mexico 8-2, 5-4 against the spread, 3-6 to the under. New Mexico's gone under in 4 straight games. 4 games in a row they've gone under. Fresno's gone under in 2 straight games. Fresno did lose 6 straight games. They beat Air Force. That's their latest win. New Mexico had won 7 games in a row, but they lost at San Jose State. They beat Boise at home. This is a big spread for New Mexico. They had beat these guys already heavy before. Let's see. This might be again. This is going to be a look ahead spot because they have UNLV next. They lost to UNLV the last time they played. They lost to them about a year ago. So I'm sure they have that on their mind. They're not really. I mean, they're at the pit at home. So I would lean Fresno State to cover the 20. It's a situational spot. So I like Fresno State here at plus 20.5. The number hasn't come down. So I do like Fresno State to cover the plus 20.5. Because it's a sandwich spot for New Mexico. Sandwich situational spot. Because remember, they have UNLV in UNLV. They play them this